Good morning. Good afternoon. This is call number 2021-34408. In the interest of time, Fowler.
How you doing?
Fine. Please raise your right hand to be sworn.
Yes, sir.
You solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Please state your name and your relationship to the child.
Chevette Monique Chambers. I'm Tayon's grandmother. I'm his mother's mother.
You're the paternal grandmother then, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Maternal. Right.
Are you the mother's mother or the father's mother?
I'm the mother's mother. I'm
Okay.
Dominique,
All right.
Dominique Prince's mother.
Good. Okay. And representing the Attorney General State of Texas?
Luis Regla.
Court will note that the mother, Dominique Prince, is not present. She was personally served on May 20th, 2022 at 1:18 p.m. at 4635 Warner Street, 36 in Houston, Harris County, Texas. And she also signed a reset order on the 23rd of August, setting this matter for a Zoom hearing today. And she has not made an appearance. Is that correct, Mr. Regla?
That's correct, Judge.
All right. The court will note that the father was personally served on July 2nd, 2021 at 11:56 a.m. at 700 North San Jacinto Street in Houston, Harris County, Texas. And he's not made an appearance or filed an answer. Is that correct?
That's correct, Judge. He's never appeared at all.
We'll proceed by default.
Thank you, Judge. At this time, I'll call Ms. Chambers as a witness.
Yes,
All right,
sir.
Ms. Chambers, in this case, we have Tyon Dominique Fowler, the son between Bobby and Dominique, correct?
Yes, sir.
And how old is Tyon now?
Tyon turned 10 May 12th.
All right. Now, Tyon's been living with you in, as far as this case goes, he's been living with you since January of 2021, correct?
Yes, sir.
In fact, he was dropped off with you with a pair of shorts, a shirt, some underwear, apart from the clothes on his back. And that's all the help you've gotten since January of last year. Is that right?
That was all he was dropped off with.
Since that time, and even before that, actually, you've been the one taking care of this child without the help of Bobby or Dominique. Is that right?
Ever since he was 1 year old, I've been buying Pampers for Tyon. I potty trained Tyon.
Okay. Now, Dominique and Bobby, they've been in and out of jail and gotten themselves in trouble using drugs and getting arrested for a very long time. Isn't that right?
Yes, sir.
In fact, Bobby was in jail up until he got served in this case in July of last year. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. However, he's not in jail. He's been out. And apart from using drugs and not taking care of his child, he has pretty much stayed out of Tyon's life, even though he's been out of jail. Is that right?
We have not seen him since.
He used to see Tyon when you would drop him off drop off Tyon occasionally with
Or
the
I
family.
had gave him permission to come here on Fridays and see Tyon. And then he disappeared and to my understanding, you told me he was arrested. And I believe that was the reason he stopped coming. But when he got out, he never came back.
Okay, now how about Dominique, your daughter? Has she on and off seen Tyon?
We see Dominique maybe once or twice a year.
No.
And that's when she hungry and don't have nowhere to go.
Okay. In
Yeah.
fact, we don't actually know where either Dominique or Bobby actually live.
No, sir, I don't. No, sir, I don't.
Now you've seen both of them high on drugs and getting in trouble with drugs in the past, correct?
This is why I don't want them at my house around the kids, period.
In fact, you kicked out Dominique because of her drug use. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
And do you know what drug she was last using the last time you kicked her out? Or high or anything like that?
Some kind, I don't know the name of it, but she dip a cigarette in something and it would have her crazy. They say it's embalming fluid. I don't know what it's called.
Dipping her whatever she was smoking in embalming fluid and then smoking that?
Dipping a cigarette in it and it smells horrible. So I put her out of here because I don't need that in my house or around my grandkids, even though she was in my backyard when I caught her.
All right. And as far as Bobby goes, we know that he has several convictions for possession of methamphetamine, cocaine, other drugs in his criminal past. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And he's been in and out of jail for drug possession and criminal problems, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right.
And both parents know my address and nobody comes to help me with anything.
So based on all that, you're asking that the court appoint you sole managing conservator and each of them as possessory conservators, since that's how the family's been living this entire time?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you have no problem being limited to Harris and surrounding counties for where you can move to. Is that correct? You're fine with that?
No, sir. I'm
All
fine.
right.
I'm fine
Now,
with
going forward, given each of the parents' problems with drugs in their past, are you requesting that if they do come visit, that they not use drugs before or during their visits?
I want them to be sober if they come here to my house.
Okay.
I do not want them to come to my house under the influence of anything around these kids.
Okay. And now for Tyon, remember we're just talking about Tyon today.
Right.
For Tyon, as far as Bobby goes, when he has visits, are you in fact requesting that he have to go through 10 supervised visits Saturday afternoons, first and third Saturday, followed by 10 Saturday afternoon unsupervised, followed by 10 all-day visits and 10 overnights before Bobby can get to a regular schedule of visits with Tyon? Is that what you're requesting?
Correct. Yes, sir.
Okay. And as we've already talked about, that's based on with Bobby choosing to stay out of Tyon's life, being irresponsible, getting in trouble with drugs and abusing drugs in the past.
Correct.
Okay. And you think for Bobby, that it would be in the best interest of Tyon that he have supervised visits before he goes on to any other schedule of standard visits. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Now for Dominique, your daughter, you're also requesting that she first go through the same set of 10 supervised visits, but her visits to be second and fourth Saturday for 10 supervised visits, 1 to 5 p.m., followed by 10 unsupervised, 1 to 5 p.m., followed by 10 all-day visits, and then 10 overnights before she also goes to a regular schedule of visits. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And same for Dominique. This request that you're making of the court is based on her past criminal problems, drug use, and being in and out of Tyon's life. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, Tyon is on Medicaid, correct?
Yes, sir. He's on Concerta. They
Okay.
upped his dosages to 27 milligrams because when Dominique came here and then she burnt off again, he just flipped out.
Okay.
So
what is that medicine for?
it's to keep his mind stable
Okay.
and to keep him from, acting out.
Okay.
because
Okay,
with
let's get back to Bobby. For Bobby, we know he's been out of jail. We don't know where he's living at, but we know he's no longer in jail and hasn't been for a while. But we don't know if he's actually working, right?
correct,
We don't know what kind of money he makes, so we're asking that the court at least issue child support based on guidelines for minimum wage, correct?
yes, sir,
Now, this is Bobby's only minor child, is that right?
yes, sir,
So his child support to you should be based on 20% based on the Texas guidelines for child support for just one child, is that right?
yes, sir,
Okay, now for Dominique, she actually has 5 total children, correct?
correct, correct,
One child is Tyon, the child in this case, correct?
yes, sir.
And she has 4 other children, but she doesn't have possession of any of the other 4 kids
She's never
either.
taken care of it, either one.
So none live with her, right?
No, sir.
Okay. For her also, we have no idea if she has a legitimate job, what she's doing for a living, how she's making money. We just don't know, correct?
Correct.
And since we don't know what her income is, same for her, we're asking the court to at least grant this based on minimum wage. Would you agree with that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And as we've already said, Tyon is receiving Medicaid. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
And going forward, we're requesting that the court allow you to continue to apply for the Medicaid for Tyon. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
After considering a request for Bobby and Dominique to each pay the state medical support, would you agree that Bobby's net income is about $1,085 and Dominique's is about $1,117 net income for each of them? Would you agree with all that?
Yes, sir.
Given that there's only one child for Bobby, his child support percentage should be 20% based on state guidelines. And given that Dominique has 4 other children other than Tyon, hers should be based on 13.6% child support guidelines. Would you agree with all that?
Yes, sir.
Would you agree with the state that the court should order Bobby to pay $57 a month beginning December 1st, 2022 for medical support?
Yes, sir.
And that Dominique should be ordered to pay $25 a month beginning December 1st, 2022 for her medical support as well?
Yes, sir.
Would you also agree with the state that based on guideline child support and minimum wage, the court should order Bobby to pay $217 a month in child support to you for Tyon, and the mother to pay $152 per month child support to you, both of those beginning December 1st, 2022. Would you agree with all that?
Yes, sir.
And you're requesting retroactive child support, back pay and child support, correct?
Yes, sir.
For Bobby, since we knew he used to be in jail when he was served July of last year, you're only requesting since he's been out from August through today's court date, all based on minimum wage, correct?
Yes, sir.
And that minimum wage child support would have been $229 per month times these 16 months you're requesting from August of last year through today's court date, totaling $3,664 entirely based on minimum wage, with the monthly payment of $69 a month beginning December 1st, 2022. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
And he has never given you $1, 1 penny for a child
Not
support.
one dime.
And the only times he has ever seen Tyon was on the rare occasions he saw Tyon over a weekend. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, as far as Dominique goes, you're also requesting retroactive child support against Dominique, correct?
Yes, sir.
You're requesting as of January 1st of last year through today's court date, also for her entirely based on minimum wage for one child in this case, for other kids, which would have been $155 per month over 23 months, totaling $3,565, paid at $68 a month, beginning December 1st, 2022. Is that all true?
Yes, sir.
And do you believe that today's court order for Tyon with these obligations against Dominique and against Bobby are in Tyon's best interest?
Yes, sir. I sure do.
And are you asking the court to grant this default order today against Bobby and Dominique?
Yes, sir, I am.
And Judge, I'll pass the witness at this time.
All right, the court will approve the order submitted. Thank you.
Thank you,
Excuse.
Judge. Thank you, Judge.